5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Be Honest podcast. Here are your hosts, Giselle and Amy, and we have a special guest today. Please welcome Aisha, the big bundle. We have her back with us again. We've all having her on our podcast, and we finally got her on again. As obviously, it's scheduled, so everyone has to get together at the same time to record this.
In different time zones too.
Yes. And this is actually our second time trying to Italian issues.
Yeah. Second day trying, but it was like our ninth time really trying. That's how dedicated we are.
Yeah. So welcome, Aisha.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for having me again.
And thank you for making time because we know it's not easy.
It's fine. It's always fun.
Yeah. So so I know we mentioned it before. We wanted to talk about your blog, right? So like if you guys haven't subscribed already yet, it's The Good Mother. The Good Mother, right?
Yeah.
Blog.
Mutha, yeah.
Mutha. And so we'll put the link on the description and everything there. But it's all of our inner thoughts that us as moms go through that we're just like, is anybody else seeing this? Like, is anybody else like experiencing this and going through this? And you put it there on paper, and I'm like, yes, like that's right. I was reading it while I was on vacation, like in Costa Rica, and like my mom and my husband were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm catching up. I'm reading." And one thing that really stood out, I think, because I had to catch up, I had like 2 or 3 of them, was the one about, and correct me if I'm wrong, the title was, how does a woman have it any harder than I do? I mean,
yes,
I may have
any other woman
added
have
a
it
word or
harder
two.
than me.
Than me, yes. And I instantly, I was like, what is this? Like, the title caught me. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's a man that said this to you, right?
Yes.
Which is so crazy. But I wanted to, like, obviously dive in. We could talk about other things, but I just felt like that was one of those moments that we should highlight because we hear that all the time. Like, I see it on the internet, like when moms are venting about certain things, and it's like, well, you chose to have to go into this journey. You chose to become a mom. Yes, but does that mean that I can't talk about like the struggle I'm going through? It's like when people complain about a job or something like that. Like, are you just gonna tell this person, yeah, but you chose this career,
right?
You chose to go to school and try to get your diploma and all that stuff. So just suck it up, and we don't want to hear about it. And that's kind of the audience, like the response that moms get sometimes about certain things that then make us feel even more guilty on top of the guilt that we already feel for having these struggles. And like, so I just want to, how did you come about this? How did this come? Where did this guy come from? I just want to talk about it. Go ahead.
Give us the context.
Yes.
We want to know.
Well, I think, but I made a reel. It was some scene from some movie, I'm assuming.
Love your reels. They're hilarious.
And when just kind of, what's it? When mothers is, talking about their struggles, and then the society and things like this kind of thing. And then, I had a lot of mothers saying, yeah, it's true. I had a lot of other people saying, well, it's true also that you chose that kid, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, usually I remember the reel because I think it was the one that had the little sound bit of, you're doing a great job, you're holding it up and you're doing this, and like you're stumbling through. I think you did like a reel like that, and it's like that's what it feels like. We're literally stumbling through, trying to gather breakfast, trying to get all this stuff together, and then it's like, but just ask for help if you need it, and then you ask for help, and then it's like, but you got this. You're strong, independent woman. Like, you got this.
Exactly.
Like, but you told me to ask for help, and then now you're telling me, yeah.
No, you don't. But it was good.
Yeah.
And then so it wasn't actually me. Well, he must have said something. No, it was another mom, that the control the fact that he commented today, well, so, it's true. You guys just have to suck it up because I have strict custody of my
I remember
son
that.
and for his perspective. I said, what's so sad? I get it. I know how it's like with my children, so I don't know what it's like. Maybe I would kind of feel, I'm sure I still have struggles. I don't actually doing things differently. So I get that. Um, but then he went up to add another comment. He said, I earn from my GMs, 6 figures. That means I work so hard. I was like, oh man, get going, you're finding those 4 days you know how. So, like cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house. So, how does any other woman have it harder than me? And that's why he lost peace. Because in my mind, like honestly, when he mentions his salary, I'll go, okay, why?
Yeah.
I know, I probably know. And it's like I didn't know. Idiot if you are.
Yeah.
Like he stood there, showed the wall. Um, and salary doesn't necessarily equate to hard work. The people work
Right.
super, super hard and elevating in some ways. And then also about cooking and cleaning, this oh, anything wrong, but historically women have generally had to do that anyway. As in the progressive society, we still work full time, but we're still like forced to stay at home. And this is 24/7, not 4 days. 4 days, yeah, I get it's hard, but you also get like a 3-day break.
Yeah.
We do this like 24/7. I'm not
And
finished
it's
just mom, but I
also,
know there's something like, single parents too.
yeah.
And that just was like, I don't, it kind of mean that you're interested.
Yeah.
Obviously, to be a single parent, but to, if in this end, to struggle, because usually, to carry the all struggle, I don't think it's like,
Yeah.
we're all struggling. It's all difficult. We're all lost it. Kind of been in,
Yeah. You find community in that. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of ironic that he was saying how hard he's working, all these things he has to do, 4 days a week, because they're playing Wednesday, but it's hard.
Yeah.
But
It's 24/7.
for me
It's
to
not
say
4 days
it.
a week. It's 24/7.
But somehow it's wrong for us to say it. It's okay for
Right.
you to say it.
Right.
So, yeah. Spike him.
And
where that came
also
from.
the difference too is that we're expected to fulfill that
That's
role.
it, yeah.
And we're expected to do it without thank you, appreciation, like, oh my God, you worked so hard. Oh my God, you did the dishes or whatever it is. Like, that's the difference too. But I'm sure when he goes out in public with his kid, he gets praised. Oh my God, you're such a good dad. Or you go out with him, or that, like all these things. Like we do it, and if our kid has a tantrum, we get the dirty look, or we get the judgment call. Where it's like, so those are the type of things that I look at. It's obviously the double standard, but in a community, right? If you and listen, I understand you put yourself out there. We're putting ourselves out there for criticism and comments and opinions and all that stuff. And I get it. But would it have been that hard for him to say something like, wow, yeah, like I understand that. And not, he doesn't have to say, don't complain or like you don't understand because I have to fight for my kid on top of being a parent. Right. But if he could just say, like, I understand part of that struggle. Do you guys have advice on how we can we can ease into this together?
Because that's not who he is. No, clearly that's not who he is. If he's going to tell us how much he's making, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It's true. Good point. Good point.
No.
But
yeah.
How do you feel like, well, one, how did you even formulate that in your blog without explicitives and just like insults to this person? Like, how did you control your emotional response? Because the emotional response would have been very different than what you actually put in that post. And that's what I found it to be so impressive, because you put it in a way of like, all right, I'm going to take a week to digest that interaction. And then I'm gonna put it on paper.
I think that helped, right? Taking the space.
That's exactly it. Because usually when I get like most of these conversations in the phone, but
Ignore.
whatever.
Yeah.
Dude. But there are a couple that get me, and depending on my state of mind, I'll either reply. I'll still be I don't want to offend anyone else. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody, but I might respond like that, and then to them in that comment there. I've done that twice, and then but usually I'll have to just think about it, think about how I should respond. If it's like a long response, let me just put it in the blog and just write a piece around it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with that. So I think it was about a week or maybe more between like that happening and me actually doing the blog, so that helps. And I took a whole shit of that. This is what I wanted to like highlight in the blog and put on paper. And it's the opposite time starts to do this. It's more of it's less of an edge. And I probably did this.
Yeah.
That's what I said, but why the hell? Okay, you just this. Oh, you said this. And you just here's a fit and
Yeah.
I'm good like my sister and it's just love to do but
Did you talk to your husband about that comment?
I actually didn't.
No.
He has like zero social media. He like his content is really American. So he rarely, I don't think he looks at my Instagram often at all. I like I rarely am I chatting about it just because I know he's so like social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like kind of just put my mind. But yeah, I shouldn't do it myself something. I need to have that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's that's soon actually. So I'm gonna change it. CB said a lot of but he had to mention it.
No, he didn't say anything about that one?
He didn't say anything, no. He does sometimes. But they just heard on that one.
Okay.
It's a question.
I would be curious to hear. Yeah. I would be curious to hear his opinion on that comment.
Yeah, someday.
Because he is very supportive.
Like, after this, you're gonna find out.
Right, we're gonna sit down and hey, listen.
Because I know he's very supportive. I know you guys share the responsibilities. You guys are really good with all of that. And so obviously that's a different perspective, right? Like that guy's in the middle of a custody situation and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So but to get to the root of it, clearly he's frustrated with that situation. And so when he reads something, it triggers something within him that says, well, you don't understand what I'm going through, and so
So that's hate you in face. Okay.
Those are the cheers. Those are
Right.
those are the thumb warriors, the internet warriors that go on there and they vent and they release their frustration from real life onto the internet, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take it with a grain of salt, but to hear a man's perspective on it and somebody that's the opposite, like your husband doesn't view things in that light, it would be interesting for you to have maybe that'll be your next blog when you guys discuss.
Yeah, maybe.
The response to that.
Right. I know generally he's, because you do like a check-in every night, and just fancy flying into like I live part-time now, like in January.
Oh,
So
good for you.
3 days we started. Nice.
Okay.
And then and I just I was in cut anything. Sometimes we would come with a laundry. I just have get kind of with me just because I have the time. But I know that how these check-ins. So I know there's a few things that I really appreciate. And so that's helpful. So I know he sees what I do and understands it a lot. And that I might, I don't know if I expect to bank more or whatever, but there are some days I'm like, I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating, and then people find out, oh, you do know this. Oh, wait.
Yeah, of course. That makes a huge difference to have somebody just at least acknowledge, like, I see you, I understand this is not easy. And the fact that you took it upon yourself to even take up the extra things that you weren't doing before because you have the time, that shows the partnership and like the strength of that partnership, you know? And like for him to acknowledge it without you having to point it out. Like, did you see everything that I did today? It's like, no, he actually did. That was nice, you know? But he's also done it himself too, so he understands how taxing it can be too, right? Which he could have easily dismissed it, like, well, yeah, of course she has more time, of course she's gonna do it. But that wasn't the response at all, so that was nice.
No. Yeah, it was.
Do you guys, well, now that you're part-time, do you feel like your, like the balance of stuff has shifted to the point where you need to relearn, like create that new schedule, that new balance and all that stuff? Or do you feel like you've lost yourself a little bit in motherhood again? Or do you feel like, no, I got this. I did this before. You're smiling, you're laughing. So I don't know if you're like, yep, I felt this way. Or is that like, how did you know?
So the kids still go, like, I might wait till since, like those days I'm off, I'll have them with me longer, but they still will go to daycare at some point.
Okay.
So, because I know myself, and I know that if I feel good in myself, but I will know how to yes.
Don't worry about it.
Take the brunt of like me being impatient and me being this terrible. I know usually you do it. I mean, I don't know how, but so that they do that. So I do that sometimes myself, and I still try to think about a routine because it's like I take on more, and then if things need to get done, I'm like, I'll do it out of the time. So the day go, I'm like, they didn't get to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which is working on the blog and all this. It's kind of to, which is a good thing and a bad thing, in that I'm not able to. I have kind of less time to do that. To do annual time, but I have less.
Right.
To do the things that I have to actually do. But then at the weekend, because I think that's just that during the week, I have time with them.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, because usually I would be cleaning the house, cooking. They'd be outside playing, with my husband or upstairs, and I just wouldn't really see them much.
Yeah.
But now I do, so it's really hurting. It's very hard. When you talk about routine, I just haven't found
the new routine. Well, it's only been, you said January, right? So it's only been like 2 months.
Almost 3. So, I haven't found it.
Yeah.
So I'm lost in that sense.
Yeah. Well, it's also one thing you have to remind yourself of. It's not just your routine and your balance. It's also the kids' routine, the kids' balance, your husband's. So it's like, when they say it takes, what is it, the slow-moving ship to turn. What is it? What's it saying?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. It's gonna take time for everyone on board to get on board. You guys know what I'm saying. Listen, I need tea right now. But you understand, it's gonna take time, which I think that's one of the things that you can obviously communicate with your husband too. Like, let him know how you're feeling, because that's another thing. Tom and I got into an argument. I think it was last week, and he just I was trying to explain something to him. I was like, no, you just don't get it. And then the fact that it was more of an emotional. It was on me. It was on me. It was an emotional thing of how I've been feeling. I've been feeling very I feel tired, and I've been feeling stressed, and I switched jobs and all these other things. So, right. So new routines, new rebalancing of things. And I know it's taking a toll on him too, because he's trying to figure out his work day with a toddler and all that stuff. Right. And us trying to figure out our home situation, all of these things. It's all affecting all of us, right? But I had a moment, and I was just like, you know what? The thought of having to explain something was just frustrating enough where it was just like, whatever. It's easier to just not talk and to just be like, all right, just leave me alone for right now, whatever. And then afterwards, we talked once I wasn't agitated and like, because in that moment, there was no getting through to anything because I was already overwhelmed, stressed, and everything else. And he was going through his own thing. But that's one thing that, like, I was like, well, he doesn't know what's going on in my head. And I told him, I was like, I understand that you don't get what's happening here, but I'm going to try and explain it to you. And I don't need you to come up with a solution or anything like that. I just need you to hear me out. And that's it. And then we'll work through it. Right. And so, you know, he's like, all right, if that's what you're asking me, then that's what I'll do. Because I feel like instantly his response is the solution. Let's figure out the solution. But sometimes it's not about the solution. I just want to vent, you know? So I totally get the whole new routine thing. And I know we spoke about it before you made the switch, before I made the switch too, because it was exhausting.
Yes, it was. It was exhausting, you know. Sorry, I remember this was something cheap, but I was trying to find another job in terms of, you know, maybe working from home. But I was trying from January last year, and it just wasn't happening. So, you know, I spoke to my husband, I was like, can we do this? Right. Well, after what I said, I want to like, okay, hold up. Hold on, it's good to be, you know, solo girl.
Responsibilities and kids. And
it's fine. Okay. So, what am I supposed to do this?
Yeah.
So, well, how about if you keep working, we'll fill out a date, kind of save up. I mean, if I could figure it out, what is someone's and then, you know, I was like, I should have been stationed. So I started doing that, and then he got to the point I was like, maybe he said, well, what about with like part time? I was like, can you eat the gas? With me, get married a lot. That's all. I know I don't quite enjoy the job of it anymore, but I thought, you know, I just hated it. But I think it was just taking too much of me.
Yeah.
Until about 3 days, I don't feel that anymore.
You don't feel resentment towards it anymore.
Right. Because enough time has passed when I have my days off, or if I sit down back.
Yeah.
And then what is like another few days, so it's not enough time for me to be like, oh, I hate it. So I'm done, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm just kind of anymore. But they're not in that anymore, so it's a really nice balance.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more family home than work, which is the opposite of that. So it's nice, it's training.
How did you decide, like, how did you present that to your job? Like, for any other mom out there that's trying to, like, figure that out, how to present that, how did you present that, one? And two, how did you come to terms with that feeling of, because I feel like that hesitation of going part-time, because I'm similar in that way, was like, but I need to do it all. Like, I need to do this full time and be here because I've done it before, so I can still push through. It's either all or nothing. I don't know why this is in our head. Like, it's either all or nothing. But how did you present it to your you know, your manager, your company, and then two, how are you coping with those feelings of, like, it's okay, this is part-time?
Right. So from when we had that conversation, me and my husband, January, and we're thinking of doing it part-time, it took a while me to even get the courage to mention it to Mutha. It wasn't until September I mentioned it, and I was like shaking. I can't do it. My husband's like, just do it. Just say what you say. Okay. So I just reacted to that. Let's go receive your line. Let's it's like, and just was not a good balance for me. It's affecting me. It's affecting our family. And I want to go part time 3 days a week. And you're like, okay, I think they got the feeling from what I said that it was either the partner not going to leave, which was actually what was in my head.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, to see the short stuff anyway.
Okay.
You know, having part-time, so not at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing it in October, but then it's just a nice week, kind of my friends tell me, oh, let me and do this, that's what I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll give you some time. But I said, okay, I'll maybe try learning I'll start and turn this day.
But even then, you still gave them something.
Right, exactly. And it's frustrating because they were pretending to full off because the phone off. But they're like, you both with their phone. So he said October, but so it's fine. So yeah, I still gave them.
You gave them enough time.
Right. And which is what I wanted to do. I still put them before Aaron.
Yeah.
It's fine. Now it's done. But then, yeah, like you said, I've been home and I have been working like 20 years to Dutch. And it was really, like, there's always been full time, you know, outside of when I was at school and, you know,
right.
weekend and stuff. It's always been full time. So it was, I was like, what am I going to do? I feel guilty. Like, even to this day, I think it's nice, but it's easily like sitting,
doing not
having
relaxing,
lunch, maybe,
doing that.
you know,
Yeah.
like I say thank you. I should.
Yeah.
But that's the wrong thing for me. But
of course,
I see, like, I'm still guilty. I should
it's
feel
in
like
our
doing
head.
something to like justify it. And I was like, why? You know, I have to justify. I need rest. It was wearing me out.
Yeah.
To, you know, full time and everything. I was struggling. That and even now I feel people say, oh, so the girls are at home then when I was with you. And I feel like guilt from that. And I'm like, well, now I want to go. I feel guilty from that. And the response I get is always, oh, well, that's fine, because you can't be as well. But I'm like, yeah, well, and why I need kind of like my school and you to let everyone say, not right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, starts. So usually if it's about all issues, something like you know, send I should. But yeah, and no, it's still there's no way.
No,
There's
you're
still
not.
there's still a dull around it, you know.
You're not a robot.
Full time.
You're you need rest. It's funny because you just reminded me with like there's so many feelings there. There's so many like moments of like frustration and guilt and should I be doing this? Should I be doing it? Questioning yourself when you were so sure of this decision and so was your husband. You guys decided this as a family. This is the best thing. But then you still were questioning yourself because of little moments because you had an employer that was like trying to guilt you into staying longer in this role that you already told them you didn't want to. And then on top of that, you feel guilty just sitting down scrolling on your phone or watching the TV show or literally just sitting down doing nothing. Like, it's mind-boggling that we feel this way. Because I understand that feeling. I think about that all the time. I'm like, all right, he went to the gym, right? He'll be at the gym and I'll be sitting here and I'm like, I should really clean or I should do this or I should do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, he doesn't care. He is one of the ones that's like, Giselle, you don't know how to relax. Just, can you please just sit down and do nothing for once? And I'm like, I'm going to try, but I don't know if I can fully do nothing because I sit down and I'm like, that's out of place. Or I see crumbs on the floor. I should vacuum that up. You know, it's always on.
Always something.
Always on.
Yeah, and
always. The other day on my team meeting, and we were all talking, and they have like a question that they always like pop up, like and the question of the day was, if you had a robot for the day that could do any task, right? Like anything, you had it for the full day, what would you ask it to do, right? And we all went around, and everybody that has kids on the team and is married said, I would ask it to deep clean the house, power wash the house and like do laundry and do all these things, deep clean the bathrooms, like all these chores and things that like we dread doing. And I'm like, yeah, pick up my kids' toys, organize it in a way that makes sense. And these are all the things that we don't realize when we're home. We're just like, there's always something to do.
Always.
So we have to make a decision. Like, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to sit here, watch, in the case of Amy, her Korean soap operas, right? I'm gonna sit here and catch up on, what was it that I caught up on? I forgot. Not only Murders in the Building. Abbott Elementary. I'm gonna sit here and catch up on that, and then I'm gonna feel okay about it. I'm not gonna feel guilty.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell myself I was being lazy or I should have done more. But I do have those moments too where it's like, I should have done this when I had the time. Or like taking out my winter clothes to like put in my spring stuff. Or you know, see, now you're thinking about it. Like, there's all these things. I had to rotate the toys and put the toys that he doesn't play with anymore, put it in storage. Like, all of these things. And the crazy part is, for lack of a better word, I feel accomplished and better about myself when I complete these tasks. And it's almost like my identity is tied to being how productive I can be. Yeah. And one day we were supposed to go to like a party, like a birthday thing or whatever. And I was like, you guys just go. I'm going to stay here. And he's like, all right, but are you going to really relax? Like, are you going to really, because I didn't feel well. And then I was like, yeah, I'll try to. But I did laundry. I cleaned. I organized the toys. And I still felt crappy that day, but I felt better because I was able to do these things. Why is my brain this way? I don't understand. But I guess I'm not alone in that.
Right. And I think maybe some of it is like kind of societal, you know, relatives worthy or whatever is like protective and doing this, that, and the other. No one really emphasizes or hasn't in the past. I don't even tell you now, but emphasizes as much. Because it's always like, oh, the hustle, but when you do this, I don't know the hustle. I
don't want to do it anymore. Can I take a mental health day from my regular life? I know you're able. You know, I even had a coworker at my previous job message me separately, like, I need a mental health day. I don't know how to ask for one. And I was like, just ask, just say the day of, just say like, you don't feel well and, you know, you're taking a sick day. You don't even have to say it's a mental health day. You just say, you know, I don't feel well and that's what it is. But the guilt that's tied to taking that day. And he's a single guy. He has no kids, like responsibility. And then he, even in that same thread, he's like, oh, but I don't know how I feel this way. You have a kid. You have this. You have all this other stuff going on. You should be taking this. I was like, yeah, but your struggles are your struggles.
Yeah.
Like, if you need the time, take the time. I mean, they can't say no to you. And then I always remind them, I was like, legally, if you tell them you're not feeling well, you can take your sick day. And then he's like, you're right. But I have to have that own pep talk with myself to take the sick day, which is so crazy. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. What was it, Amy? You said something the other day, because in the group chat that we had with my other sister-in-law, she's talking about how frustrated she was with her job. And he was like, just burn the whole place down and like, because it's ridiculous things that I feel like we take it upon ourselves. That we'll stress ourselves out over. When at the end of the day, we are just a number, right? Whether we're clocking in, we're clocking out, we're a number. And when I was younger, before a kid came along, like before I had a baby and I became a mom, I was all about climbing that ladder, that corporate ladder, and, you know, doing what I had to do in order to make a name for myself wherever I was. And while I still have ambitions and I want to do really well, whatever I do, I want to make a name for myself. My priority is if my kid is sick, that's my priority. If I have to take the day off or for whatever reason to go to the doctor, whatever it is, that's what I'm going to do. And that's definitely shifted. Like, I don't want to do the hustle. I don't want to be top salesperson. I don't want to do any of that stuff because I feel I don't need that validation also from that perspective, because I know I'm doing other things that are to me
Very
more
important.
valuable now. My priorities have shifted.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so I think that's natural for you to want to go part-time or to quit or whatever it is, because your priorities have shifted.
Yeah.
And you felt this is taking way too much of my time when I feel like this is more valuable for me. And that was being with your family, spending time with them, but also making time for yourself. Because you're in your profession, it's very taxing. Like, and you're constantly dealing with patients, and you have to be on it. So if you're burnt out, it's not helping any aspect of your life.
Right. Exactly.
So that was
I mean, I've been
brave for you to do, because you had to be honest. No, you had to be honest with yourself. Like, can I continue doing this and doing it well? Because you are impacting and helping kids' lives with your profession. So you had to make the decision and say, I need to create a better boundary here and to create a better balance. And this is how I'm going to be better at both parts, like these multiple parts of my world.
Yeah. I've been wanting to go part-time pretty much since I had kids.
Yeah.
Like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it took a while, but I mean, we're in a position then. We are now, luckily. Just and to be in a position to tell us what this became.
Yeah.
So
Good. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And it's only going to get better because you're going to get more and more comfortable in this new position.
Yeah.
Because it is always like hard and shocking when you dive into something. Like when I was before switching jobs, like when I went into a new job, like when I started working after being a stay-at-home mom, I felt guilty and crappy all day, every day, because I felt like I couldn't give my all into this part of my life, and I couldn't give my all into this part of my life. And it's just, I don't find anybody else other than moms that feel this way. And it's that age-old saying, like, we're expected to work like we're not mothering, right? And we're expected to mother like we don't work, and whatever it is, like, it's just we're expected to give our all into all aspects. Yeah. And then if we don't, we're failing. Yeah. Which is so crazy. So to that guy that makes 6 figures that was talking about, how hard is it? I'm sorry. Did you also go through postpartum anxiety or depression? Did you also have a baby living inside of you, causing all these other things going on in your body? No. Did you, like, there are so many things like that I talk to my
just what you see as well. Yeah.
And it's not just a physical change. There's an emotional change, a mental change that's happening too, on top of a really significant change of who am I now as I become a mother? What does that mean? What does that look like for me? And this other, identity that I used to have before a kid came along, and losing that, because you also have to grieve that process and all that stuff. So when I read that blog, and I'm going back to the blog, when I read that and he said something like that, like minimizing a woman's, a mother's struggle, it's like, well, there's a lot more than just the aftermath too. There's still that part of us finding ourselves in this new chapter. A long time. And then it changes because they go from a point, our kids go from a point where they need you every second of the day to they're more independent. But then they also want you there. But then if you're there, you're not doing it right. And then so you have to change every day almost. All the time. Yeah. And it's just never ending. And this isn't a complaint. This is
No.
did you guys also experience this type of moment? Like, did you know that this can happen? Because I did it. I didn't realize it was going to be this complex. I thought it was, you know, you go through the motions and you're a mom. And it happens naturally. You'll feel it. It's an instinct. It comes to you. Not always. No. And I find that that's why it's such a, like, my husband says it's a racket, like the wedding industry, but also like toys and things catered to like new moms and new parents. It's so expensive. And it's like, you know, and they justify it with like, oh, it's organic, it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
But it's because I feel like they're taking advantage of new parents.
Yeah.
Telling them this is what you need in order to make your life easier.
Right.
And ease you into this new stage.
Yeah.
When in reality, you're just like,
I don't think anything can
make
it that easy that it's, you know,
seamless. Not at all. If anything, you could invest that money, put it into something else. And
yeah, exactly.
Amy, did you have something to say?
No, I'm listening.
Well, from your perspective, right? Because it's different. Like you're
homes.
No, because I know you had that change, and you know we've spoken about it before.
It was different.
You were thinking about going back to work.
Yeah, but it was different for me because when we got pregnant the first time, it was just like we were at the time. It was okay for me to just be my dog. Like they were out for us, so it wasn't like I had too much to think about, you know, like this about a job and thing that, oh, I feel bad. I wasn't, because it was like, I was so excited about the new life. It blocked out whatever negative feeling, I think.
Yeah.
But if I would have been like, okay, I have to go back to work and I need work, I have to go back, right? And then I decided, like, while I was working to quit, and it would have been different. Like, it would have been more similar to how you guys, like, okay, like, you know, torn between the two. But it was a clear thought for me. So it wasn't like a least struggle, really.
Yeah.
Like, people would still bother me after I left. It's funny because I was never to my emails the other day. Because funny, my husband started a new job. And he's actually working on one of the buildings that I was on. So they're remodeling the work that I did.
And he's doing it. That's funny.
And he was like, do you think what you did here? And I was like, oh, yeah, hold on. And I'm like, well, I'm a computer.
I think you were going to be sarcastic and say, yeah, let me go back, 8 years. And
I have all this information still in my brain, which is weird. But then I went on my computer to look for the stuff he needed. And I was seeing emails from like, I want to say maybe 3 months after I quit, of people asking me stuff. And it was like, a consecutive saying more emails. I was like, and I was actually spoken to you back. So it's like, and I was like, was I still working with that? Why did I No, I wasn't. I couldn't just be, it wasn't, like the work email for me, my work email. It was like my personal email.
Your personal.
Oh my God. It was my personal email. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I even responded back so nicely too.
Yeah. That's because you were still excited and happy about, like, the stage.
I'm saying, like, I had it was clear cut for me. So it wasn't like I'm struggling to make it happen. I think I'm struggling now to like thinking about, okay, so mine starts pre-K this September, hopefully, if you plan things. But and it's like, do I want to go back full time? Probably can't. Someone still has to be here to pick them up, drop them off.
Yeah.
I don't really have anyone here to do that for me. So I'm like, okay, it's thinking that. It's like, and then it comes to thing with all like, but like when the morning daycare situation where they'll take them and pick them off from the outset. And then there was a school, and then they have to get dropped off after school.
Right.
Until I can pick them up. Because I'm still going to be the de facto parent. Like, I'm the one who has to go do everything because he works in the city. That's like 2 hours
away. Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't, I'm still the parent.
You're the default parent when it comes to the pickup, drop off.
So I'm like, all right, full time, part time, and if it's part time, And there's nothing much I can do part time. There's whatever I know that I can do.
Okay.
Or maybe you could freelance. You could be like a consultant.
Is what I thought. For me, because there's like a lot of products going on around here, so I was like, all right, maybe if I sell them, I'll go in and do such for you on site, like because. So I don't know if you know, but I'm a project manager, engineer. So I do a lot of construction work, and that's what I've been doing up until I stopped working. So I mean, you have to physically be there to see. You can't.
You could just do a remote, like FaceTime and let me.
Yeah, and you can't. Take a look. You can't. You have to physically go out, see things, read plans, make sure everything's okay. The way it's supposed to be, coordinate everything. So I didn't put into like coordination for people, which I was pretty good at. But otherwise, I'm not sure what other job I would do with my
If you don't care about title or anything like that, you could always do like an assistant to.
It's something about this. Yeah, but it's like it's still a 40-hour job, still a full-time situation. There's very any part-time situation for anything to do with construction, because unless I go to like actual manual labor, where they go in really early, it's like 6 a.m. and they're done by 3. 2 or 3. Yeah, but it's so much to consider. I don't even mind answering phones for a company. Like, I don't care. It's, just getting out there again.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's it. That's a different part of like where we are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but I honestly think you doing freelance and consulting work, I think that would be like your best bet. You could start your own agency. And like start, no, you do your own like LLC or whatever yourself, and then you can start.
There's like a lot of stuff. Like there in town, there's an architect that's there, and I even thought about it going, like saying, hi, I do this type of work, and like, do you think you need anyone that'll oversee your project? So like, I can do that. What I don't know. It's just putting myself out there.
Of course, it's scary.
To give myself that pep talk. Yeah.
Well, it's been how many years?
She's been 7. So 7
Yeah.
years. And I've been here. I was not like I don't do anything either, but
no, that's not what I meant.
But this is no, I keep thinking like people would have been like, what the hell have I been doing for 7 years? Like,
I don't know. I feel like
still
people
don't
feel
think
that
phone calls
way.
from you guys and like the people I used to work for, like asking me questions still.
I don't know if people really still feel that way. I think the minute you talk to them, like, look, I took a break to raise my kids, and
I don't mind starting backwards. Like, I don't have to be where I was at the time I left my job. I could start backwards and move up again. Honestly, like you said, it's not about me climbing up.
Right.
To see anything.
Exactly.
I know where I'm at in this art, and as long as you're flexible with what I need to be here for my kids, I think that would work, right? Like, that's about and I think that's what I have to go in explaining to people when I go look for work. Like, hey, not cool with whatever you need to do, but this is what my problem is.
Yeah. Yeah.
They take advantage.
We can talk it over on how to present that.
No, and it's funny because I try to the way I present it to you right now, because it is actually I had a job lined up with someone, and I had it so damn really seriously. I was just like, and what are your thoughts about working with your team? Because I know these people are old school and they're nasty. Yeah, they don't take orders from women. And like, what are you gonna do if someone doesn't want to listen to me? Okay. I'm very straightforward with people like that. And that's how they are. At least in construction, they're very straightforward. Yeah. They don't care. It's a very old school mentality. Yeah. Of a lot of them. So, but they've gotten better. Honestly, there's people where are kind of like, okay, this one went into structure. They want more went into structure, but you have to make it work for us. Yeah. Okay. But I am straightforward. I am happily straightforward. I can't. You do. The thing is, you can't beat around the bush because then you're not on South anymore. Yeah.
I still think you can work for yourself and be a consultant, and you don't have dream job, because you can make your own schedule, fit your life, your boundaries, and you can take on clients as you're able to, you know?
I had a person I used to work with, and he was like almost like a consultant. Like he would pick up jobs randomly. Like he would go to the company and be like, "Well, I live in this area, so I could work on this."
Yeah.
And that's how I met him. He was working at the Yankee Stadium's project when I was on there. And he like started in that stadium, and then he went and flew to San Francisco, and they relocated him.
Oh, wow.
And that's where he was working. But he's much older, so he was like able to move around and do that. But I could probably work on the same thing. Just he wasn't with one company. It was just him, and then he would go apply, and he would change whenever the job was done. He would go. He would just quit, and then just fuck the ass.
So you could do the same thing, but locally, because I know you don't want to leave, you don't want to fly out, you want to be home, right?
Yeah.
There's so much to figure out. So much to figure out.
That's where I am. In the next couple months, Sydney and hashing out on the road and see what happens.
Yeah. It's completely three different experiences. When I left, well, Aisha, I know I texted you from the new number, but I left my old job. I got rid of that phone number line. I got rid of it because I was still getting text messages, like calls from clients and like all these other people. And I'm like, you know what? Because I opened up that phone line specifically because I didn't want to share my personal line. Canceled that bad boy. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have to hear anything from anybody. That email address is no longer active. So if you call that number, if you text it, it'll say the subscriber you have called is no longer in service. So it was a clean break. So even if I wanted to, I do have my personal number with coworkers that became friends, you know. But other than that, no, I had to. I learned my lesson from other jobs where they had my personal number and I kept getting the calls and all stuff, and I was like, never again. And also, people don't respect boundaries. They'll go as far as you let them, unless you really put your foot down. So that's why I said it's a brave move for you to like put your foot down and say, no, I'm going part-time or I'm out of here. Like, right. That's just what it is. You choose. Yeah. Get a little bit or you get none of it. So
exactly.
Yeah. So like, what are you? What's like your guilty pleasure? What's the thing that you are learning to enjoy again with your with quote unquote free time? Because I know that there's no such thing.
I can take you along that.
That's nice.
I think I'm really careless of myself. I think, oh, and when I first I could say it like that, email like that, and then when I do go to work, I still don't get out of that mentality because it's just I'm like, well, it's just 3 days, so I'm fine.
Yeah. I'll catch up on the other days.
Right. So like when I still wake up early, you know, to work out and be with them and have that and just sort of stuff. And it's like by the time I would go home and like very cute. Got all the laundry, the thing, and then by the time I got home, I'm like, tired. Some of that.
A nice little nap.
That's what I've been doing way more than I thought I can.
Okay. But that's nice. That's you listening to your body that normally you would have ignored because you would have been distracted with something else that you had to do.
Yeah.
So that's really nice that you actually get to enjoy that. And have you considered getting somebody to help with like coming in maybe a day once a week to help with laundry or help with cleaning or anything like that?
I haven't. I feel like I can't justify it because I'm well, you know.
But I figured that was going to be your response.
With the after, like, help me just remember and clean when I'm here. It's clean a lot better.
You could, but you could also take that time to.
I would actually take enough time to do other stuff that I really do.
But don't you feel like you would want to clean before they come to do it again?
Yes.
I do. I think I also would. I
don't think they just so
I would definitely want to tidy up. I definitely want to tidy things, maybe pick up a few things,
Yeah. That's like
When
the same concept in a hotel room when we go away or something.
Yeah.
My husband's like, they have somebody that's gonna come. But yeah, but we can't.
Like, yeah, but
I don't
you
want
can't
them
just
to
leave
think
it
we're
like
slobs.
this.
Like, you know, put
You
the
have to
towels
clean
over
so that they
there.
can
Like,
clean.
but deep clean. I need them to clean the
Deep
walls,
clean.
things that I'm not going to.
Exactly,
You know,
that stuff. And you know that I think because boys clean ever maybe twice ever.
okay.
And she was like, no, I don't do it anyway. So I'm just gonna clean. That's it.
So you had to clean again.
I'm gonna clean in out of sun.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. It's funny because I had somebody clean before, and I'm the type, like, just to ease my mind, because no shoes in the house and all that other stuff. And when I'm like, does she really clean? And I look at him like, oh, she cleans. She did a really good job. Like, I'm going to watch that. Right. Like, that's good. That's good. Because it also makes me feel better. Like, all right, we spent money on this.
Yeah.
That I could have done. Right.
Right.
Tom could have done, because we designate certain things, right? He's in charge of bathrooms.
Yeah.
I do the other stuff. But he, like, when I look at that, I'm like, all right, so it was worth it. It was worth it. The most frustrating part for me, for anything, like, I hate buying things when I'm outside, like snacks for Derek or whatever it is that we already have at home. Yeah. So if I feel that I could have done a better job at cleaning, doing the laundry or whatever, and I paid somebody to do it, I'm going to be so angry with myself. Like, so frustrated. Like, I should have just done it myself. Never again. Never, And I'm not just talking about, like, folding laundry the wrong way. I'm talking about, like, this doesn't look clean to me. Did you put it in power wash? Did you do, like, how many pods did you put in there? Exactly. Like, so that's one of the reasons why I would hesitate too.
Right. But and when we moved into this house, we got someone to deep clean it before we moved in.
Yeah.
I was so I worked in Tennessee and moved to Texas because I had this from birth. So
yeah,
my husband blew over, said, don't want to finish the so he was feeling deep clean. And when and then we finally went in and I was looking around, okay, did they like clean these places? Like, yeah, and he was like, I'm not like, what are you watching?
That sounds like an exact conversation I've had with Tom.
Wait, why were you? What was waiting you?
What was the point of you?
What did we pay? I'm confused. So did you pay for?
The molding is dusty. Do you not see that? Like, yeah, no, it's one of those. It's similar to, like, when they try to help out, like the husband's trying to help out, but they're not doing it the way that we would have done it. So it's wrong. And we try to not, like, I joke with Tom after the fact, after he's done it. Like, I'm like, that's not the way that I would have done it, but I appreciate you doing it. So keep, good job. Good job. Good job. So I'll do that. But now he's done it to me a couple times because he normally does the dishes. Even though we have a dishwasher, but we just don't use it. But he does the dishes, and then one day he was really tired or whatever, and I was like, I have time, I'll do the dishes. And I did it, and then he's like, did you wash this? And I was like, yeah, I washed it. He's like, okay. And I was like, oh.
I see.
Am I losing my touch? Did I not put enough soap and scrub enough? But he was judging me, and I was like, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. So
I never had it bad when I was TVs. But my husband, like, the husband, like, laundry, I'm not in the dishwashing, but it just shuts it so easily. So he's done for the long rest. Why am I still sucks here? Why is all this bad? Why are the food fishing on the counter so they all look covered? I was like, you know what? I don't know what's worse. You're doing it all and half doing it.
That sounds like me because I don't know if you guys have this problem, but like I'll be washing something and then I'll remember, oh, I'll turn over and I'll see something, then it's sticky. I'll stop and I'll go here, and then by the time I'm done, I realize all the way in the living room and the water's still running.
Yep.
I haven't finished washing the dishes.
Yep.
And I'm over here cleaning the sofas, and I'm like,
Or
what am I doing?
vacuuming or
I'm like,
something.
what am I doing? There's like a million things all going on at once.
Yeah.
And I can never get myself to just concentrate on
To
one,
do
finish
one.
it, and then keep going.
And then what's next one?
I have a question for you, ladies. Do you feel like after you became a mom, you developed ADD or ADHD, whichever? Because I feel like I have.
Maybe.
I can't focus on just one thing anymore.
Yeah. That. Yeah, it's difficult to. It's very painful.
Like even work wise too. Like there's multiple things. Like and like Tom will look. He's like, "Why are you just focusing on one thing?" I'm like, "Because I could do both. Like I could do both." Yeah. Or like how Amy said, like I'll find myself. I'll start organizing, cleaning this, and then I'll see something that belongs in the living room.
It's like, hey, now
So I'll go to the living room.
I see something that I have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I should really vacuum this little crevice of the couch or whatever. I'll start vacuuming, then I vacuum the whole room. And then I forget what I was initially.
Why would it actually go?
And so everything gets kind of like half done until a day where I actually dedicate to like getting it all done. And it's a project. Those are what I call my little projects. So I don't think you're alone in that. That definitely happens to me. But I was telling Tom, I was like, I think I've developed ADD or ADHD or something. One of those, because I feel like I can't just focus on one task anymore.
Yeah.
And if I am only on one task, I feel like I could have done two. Why did I just? Why did I just do? And while I set the laundry, I could have been doing the dishes or working out. I could have been prepping the meat.
Right.
Like, oh my God, I forgot to put the meat in the freezer. Like, all of these things that are constantly in my head, or prepping the overnight oats, and it's just never ending. And I need to study.
We feel like we need to do everything. So the only way to do that is by doing
all at once.
Everything.
Yeah.
So we have. Yeah, it's a little odd to just focus on one thing. And wasting time. Like, I just need to do something else. Yeah, I get that.
Like, I have to, if I'm studying the laundry, I'm going to go work out, or I'm going to go do something else. I can't just do one task at a time.
Yeah.
He can do one task at a time, and it drives me crazy. But he can do it. Yeah. And I'm like, but if you're doing that, why don't you? No, he'll go take a nap. He'll go just relax, get on his phone, read the Washington Post and whatever. And then I'm like, you don't want to go work out? You don't want to go, like prep something else? So I don't know. And everybody that I've spoken to, usually they're moms, and they feel the same way. They feel like there's not enough time. And if you're not doing multiple things at once, and God forbid you take a nap, like you beat yourself up over it.
Yeah, that's the thing about taking a nap. It's like, oh, I'm just fucking looking cleaning.
Yeah. Or prepping for tomorrow instead of waiting for tomorrow and actually doing it tomorrow. It's just never ending. So you should do another open letter to that guy and put all of these things in there and say, this is why women have it worse. Yes. His brain will not even begin to process these things because it's just what it is. Now, I understand how some people be like, oh, well, you're not just going to complain like you chose this other things, but it's not a complaint, like we said before.
Probably. And it's really not complaining about the children. That's not even a thing. It's just this expectation that we kind of taken on that we have to do every single thing and all fun all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's reinforced when, you tell someone, oh yeah, I did take an up, or no, my husband's at the history, and like, oh, you should do it. No, right.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have been out before your eyes. Oh, I do it all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My spirit on my I know she's she's very complimentary about her. She does, right? Yes. Well, otherwise. Like there's sort of challenge where we have like friends for maybe an hour away, where the dads will take the kids to go play.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, they're going to wherever it was. It's all halfway. And she's like, oh, the dads are taking the car. What about you? I was like, I'm just yeah, no, we flying your lap. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh.
There's so much like it's a loaded because I get that from my mom too.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is how you lead to the dinner? You're just in the female.
Yeah. And it's like, let me not comment. I'm going to be the bigger
Right.
person here and understand that you are from a different generation.
Dude, that's what I'm for. Listen, in that time they were doing anything. I saw it. My mom. And that's also in me that, I guess I have to smoke everything too. I'm trying, I'm lucky that I wasn't marrying him if he was like you have to go.
Yeah.
So, I'm lucky that he's both of us. And maybe you have the initiative, but he will do it half.
Right.
We always have the initiative, but, so it's getting that thing, so otherwise, and that makes
And Amy with Vic. Vic is always the one that takes them to like the birthday parties. But you guys split up duties too.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just adding that I could that one birthday right.
You don't do the birthday.
No, I get it.
Something about the screaming kids just playing around. So it's just too much. Like I already have screaming with them here because they're very vocal. I just said, what was it? It took Milo to soccer practice, the first soccer practice, and in the gym where the noise is just amplified.
Echoed.
I don't think it should. Oh my god! Like this all the time. I was like, oh my god, like, it's too much. And I came out.
Yeah.
I'm already like, I have a lot of tension on my shoulders. Actually, not this up here. And I was like. Like, I don't know let's say that. I was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah, so he was the parent. I was like, you have to take him because it's going everywhere, like earbuds or something. I can't. I was like, there's no way.
That's another thing. Seriously, becoming a mom, like noise, it's just I can't do it. Like they're screaming, and my husband's like, "Put music." I'm like, no.
Yeah,
stop.
it's too much. It's too much.
I can't
turn it off. Turn it off.
They're not gonna stop quiet. Just turn before you better to stop. I try to put the phone to it.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
No.
Well, one thing that's helped me too is like I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It's scheduled to do that, like after a certain time.
Yeah.
My social media, like all that stuff, because there was so much stimulation. There was notifications constantly, and I have an Apple Watch, so like the vibration will go on my watch.
Yeah.
There's always access, right? So and I'm like, no, I need to set the boundary because I can't right now. And sometimes I just put on Do Not Disturb and just like be at peace a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do have some people obviously that cut through because if it's an emergency or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned it on the other call, I got a call from my mom at the crack of dawn in the morning because the night before, which is my fault, Aisha. I shouldn't have up to her. The day before, she's like, oh, he's so skinny to Derek. He's getting skinnier. I was like, yeah, he's not eating right now. He's going through blah, 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 whatever. She calls me. This is what I wake up to because I had my phone on Do Not Disturb overnight. And her call went through to say, and I thought something happened because my mom doesn't call me this early in the morning ever.
Right.
I'm like, oh, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah. I'm just calling. She said, you should take him to the doctor because there might be something wrong. He's not eating. You don't want him to get too skinny. I'm like, you called me now to like tell me. So yeah, no, I need to restructure my Do Not Disturb again. But yeah, things like that where it's just that day I woke up and then I had to recalibrate after that phone call and restructure, because there's just like, don't give me one more thing for me to stress about. Don't give me one more unnecessarily stressed about, I should say, because there's already so much. And I did go on vacation with my mom, and then I had to take a break from her when we got back because that was too much. So like she calls now, and this is her a passive aggressive way of saying like we haven't seen her since we got back.
Right.
So she'll go to Derek and she's like, "Oh, you're lost." In Spanish it translates differently, but she's like, "Oh, you're lost now. I don't see you anymore. We were spending every day together, and now, I barely see you." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's busy. We're busy, whatever." But I can't with the little comments, the loaded O's and the loaded questions of, why is Tom doing that? Why are you not doing that?
Why are you doing
Because I'm
it?
sitting here relaxing. I'm busy doing that
Right
now. And then the usual follow-up is, "Oh, well, that's good. That's nice that you guys do that.
Nice.
That's nice.
Do that.
You guys do that." That's like, yeah. My response is, yeah, well, we're not antiquated, and like that's what I want to say, but that's like the teenager in me that's being triggered.
I know, yeah.
And so like, yeah, but she still annoyed me in that moment, and I need to just move past it, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we talked about so many things. I'm just glad that the we didn't have any more tech issues, and we were able to finally get it through. What do you have to say, Aisha, to like the people that read your blog and like all that stuff, and that are looking for guidance in that community, or for people that are putting themselves out there when it comes to being vulnerable about their struggles and their frustrations with motherhood, when they come across somebody like that guy from your post?
I think if I don't respond, but not responding is actually sometimes you just falling about it. So I think get it out in some way. Like I would do that, maybe take a day or two out of room when I'm getting into like walls. And just help partners, give them advice, write it down, and also just remember like what they're saying is probably more than in terms of their insecurities, what they feel like they have to prove something, and by telling you that it's doing whatever it is they tell you, basically. And just it's hard, but just kind of remember what you do, why it is a challenge for you, and it is valid for you and your struggles. Like, not like I'm going to take task away from you. Because it's not necessary. I don't think in the whole interaction I said that his point wasn't valid. Like, his valid is very. I don't know that side of things, so I'm not going to make you, how you decide the custody thing. It's on that idea. And I can only imagine it's really difficult. So that's that. I just didn't appreciate that. But again, the judging on his part, I guess, or the collective.
Yeah.
That I didn't quite like, but I think that's just his issue. And like I thought, remember this is their issue.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what your feelings are valid. So, there's plenty of stuff. And that. So follow comments like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for being on and for sharing your parts of your life and your struggles. Your valid struggles are all valid. And for listening to us too and our struggles. Making us not feel alone in it.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we're all in it together.
Yes.
Regardless of full friend, like
part-time.
Part-time. Part-time now. It's a lot. So, we are all in it together.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know that's how enough, but I never one because we didn't hear that on it because she came, that was only her to me. I mean, that's me. She came over and said, well, good can you get, and I speak to me, I just know I was like staying mom as well. No, the first question he asked him was, oh, so you what? And so, yeah, I understand the territories. And I talked about it. And since then, she just had done nothing to do with me. But is it because that, is it because I'm not there? I get like looking for someone else.
Yeah.
Like, even if we're not, you know, I still have like weekends and I would, I think whenever I told her, it's like, I would choose her youngest and like, first, the exact same age as my out too. So it was perfect. But it was just a kind of, oh, you done sounds.
Gotcha.
It's not teaching. You want them to be all right. Like, 4 years ago. You know, we passed each other like one time after that. So, but yeah, and like, she also was really concerned that you didn't see nothing in the family.
Okay.
My test. And she said, yeah, you can make lots of friends. You know, if you want to pull the people that you can make, and I was like, one more.
Yeah, what happened to you coming over?
More really scandalous situations. Yeah. But the only thing I can think of is that we're not, like, I'm not at home. So that was kind of disappointing. But I think this is a thing you see as well on social media that, like, so it was hard the whole time knocking, no, this is how it was. Like, well, everything is all hard. It's like we all are on hard. Just because it's not the same doesn't mean it's not valid.
Right.
You know? And I think, I don't know. I do that. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. Yes.
But it's interesting because that's obviously, right, from your perspective, that's what it feels like. And possibly from her perspective, it could have been, who knows, maybe she was dismissed by somebody. I was like, oh, I don't have time to meet with you. I have to work. I have to go do X, Y, and Z. And so she's instantly like creating that wall.
To like, right. Okay, I'm not gonna try.
But I mean, it doesn't feel good from either. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, I'm curious again. Yeah, we tried again. You know, we went over the stuff, right? I didn't know.
No,
we did. I saying, what do you guys?
Well, you have your community. You have other people too, right?
Right. Yeah.
So.
That's all of Belly.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
You found your community. You created. Well, a lot of the times you have to create it yourself. You have to put yourself out there, and you are one of the many. Like, I've seen some of the accounts on, like, you put yourself out there in the things that you share. Which thank you, because it is difficult to do that. So
thank you.
I find community within you, even though you live miles and miles away.
Miles away.
But it doesn't feel that way when we talk. So I appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even Amy, it's funny because we've made plans to see each other, and we haven't seen each other in like over a year. No, is it? Is it just an hour?
It's like an hour and a half, maybe.
But it's just different. Our schedules. But see, we still make it work, right? We try to make it work. And I feel like that's the thing. I think effort is huge, especially with parents. Like, your schedule is just not the same. And I think when you find people that understand that and say, yeah, it's fine, I'll be here.
Yeah, like, exactly.
We'll talk when we get a chance.
Exactly,
we'll see each other when we get a chance. That's fine. That's huge. And that's how you know those are the people. Those are your people.
Right,
those are the people to stick to. You know, and to invest time into, because they're doing the same.
Right.
So, thank you for doing that. Okay, so Amy, do you have any last words? Anything you wanted to share?
You tell me to share.
No. Well, no. I'll tell you one thing. I've been singing Backstreet Boys all day in my head.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good. I'm about to go meet. I'm about to go meet my favorite Backstreet Boy. I'm so excited.
Really?
AJ's. He has
which one's he?
He's the bad boy.
he's someone with the
bad boy.
tattoos and always different color hair.
Oh, wait. He's the one with the glasses? Does he wear sunglasses all the time?
Yeah.
No, with the hat? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And the piercings and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, wow, that's so cool.
So my husband got me a meet and greet to meet him, but we didn't know it was going to be a whole 7 hours before the concert. So we're leaving like in an hour or so.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
yeah,
and I have to go down there. I'm kind of nervous now. Thanks for bringing it up.
No, that's exciting. That's so exciting.
It's weird. It's weird just because it's blinding. They're not allowed to take any pictures of the down also.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
You're not supposed to. What was it? Yeah, what you're learning else that no picture, no art, no nothing. You just there to give you a picture, so they take the picture for you. Because they have like a laptop. No, it's included in what I
It's
paid
in the
for.
bundle.
Yeah, so I take
I
a
want
picture with him, and then I have a autograph because I met him before with the group.
Okay.
So I have a picture with him, and then like he sends us to where I think he has a line of the nail polish, and he is sending us like nail polish to our house or something.
Oh, with this?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing in like less than 2 hours.
That's exciting. Yeah, I had no idea though. I'm sorry that they didn't let you take a picture.
Not them. And then if you do have a present for them or something, it has to be unwrapped. They have to check it.
Well, that I get.
I didn't think of that. I was like, I know I should have knitted him something, and I didn't even think
that would have been.
That I saw him wearing like some crochet vest thing the other day, and I was like, I should have made something, but I didn't. I did it.
It's all right. It's all right.
I did it, but I should make that Aisha sing it. Ways to be so. I'll leave you something. I'll send it to you. Because we did our show twice. I should start doing that. Anybody that's our guest, I should make something and send it to them.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so I've been singing everybody. Like everybody. And then Tom's like, why are you like what? I was like, because Amy's going to meet them today. So I've been very excited for you.
So 12-year-old me is screaming.
Yeah. They don't make music like that anymore, I gotta say. They really don't. I miss like Boys to Men, Backstreet Boys, like the boy band.
Right.
Kinda.
So good. I don't know what we're doing these days.
I mean, I know NSYNC is back together, but I don't know.
Were you
JT's
into
controversial
anything, Aisha?
Yeah, were you into any of those boy bands and stuff?
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Boys to Men. Who else was there? What was that?
98 Degree.
Maybe I wanted them.
Nick Lachey?
He did not visit us.
Yeah. Oh, I do that. We had a few in England. There was like Westlife.
Yes, I know them.
Are you here?
Yes.
A whole thing of the world. They're the big one in England.
5.
Back there.
Yeah.
5 and 5. Yeah, they were good too. Wow.
Well, we can't forget. I know we're talking about boy bands, but they don't make them like the Spice Girls anymore.
Yes.
So
They do not.
I do not. I still to this day jam out to all those songs, and it's just like I wish they would come out with a new record. Like I still listen to like Mel C and her solo songs, and I think that's
solo.
Yeah, she has a couple of really good songs, and Ginger had a couple. I think she had a solo album.
Does it?
And
no, I do remember Mel C. You've done Scout and LB have funky too.
She probably did, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
But so that was like my outfit, and I know that we've tried it before. I think it was like Fifth Harmony and a couple of other groups.
Right.
There was another one. What is it? S Club 7.
Yeah.
But that was like a mix, right?
I
love some of their songs.
Yeah, some of the songs were really good. Another level.
There's another one, I forget. It was like 3 guys. They were British. Sure. Anyway, point is, I'm gonna be playing all this all day today. So Amy, you enjoy. You have fun.
Yeah, have a good time. It'll be really fun.
And take pictures, I guess, after you meet
After.
them.
Yeah.
Then it's just trying to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want a
Yes.
picture. They to the today's is done on WhatsApp. I'll look at it. So
Okay.
it'll be
All
time
right.
Monday. I'll see where I'm going.
Listen,
Yeah.
you get to meet them. Like, that's an experience.
Exactly.
My sister was like, "What since you're with that?" I was like, "I don't know." But don't try to wonder what these people smell like. How they smell him.
I wonder what he does. Yeah, I wonder what he smells
Yeah.
like.
What do you
I wonder
smell?
what it
What do you
does
smell like? Like cigarettes? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Tobacco and vanilla? What do you smell like? I don't know. Okay, well, no, have fun. Aisha, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me
And
again.
of course, it's great. And I'm excited for your new chapter as well, this whole
Thank
part-time.
you.
And
Thank
like
you.
you taking naps and resting and taking time for yourself. I'm glad that you're
Thank
doing
you.
that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Amy?
You've been a great help.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Aisha.
We'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.